I've been asked a bunch of times, what's the best way to start on the DonutSMP? There are tons of videos showing common methods, but I wanted to find a more unique way of making money that not many players are using, so I gave myself a challenge. Start from absolute zero, but I could not leave the ocean biome. Will I give up, or find some decent money making methods? I gave myself a couple of rules. All the money making methods I use have to be related to the ocean. I can't just make a tree farm in the middle of the water and call it a day. I couldn't go anywhere else apart from the ocean, meaning I couldn't go to spawn and beg for money. Can I have some money?
Yo, not another one. What is the real one?
The methods have to be simple enough that any new player could do them. No complicated redstone farms. So let the challenge begin. I started by RTPing until I found an ocean, which took quite a few tries, but I eventually found one. Alright, and let's go. I hope I can make at least 25 million. I think the first step will be getting a good helmet. Quite a few ideas of what I'm going to be doing, but I collected a few sea pickles for my first little bit of money, and then I sold them on orders. I then collected a few stacks of kelp for some more starter money. And I definitely didn't almost die here 2 minutes into the challenge. And then I grabbed a few more stacks of kelp. I looked on the AH to see how much kelp was selling for, and I noticed there are a few stacks selling for cheaper than orders were paying. So I bought them and immediately sold them again for free profit. I put an order in for a few logs so I could make myself a boat to get around faster. If you're a new player, make sure you use the auction house and orders as much as you can, as it's an easy way to make good money. I found a shipwreck that had pretty bad loot, but then I found a ruined portal which actually had decent loot for me. A few of the items I had collected were taking up space, so I just sold them. I then saw ink sacks sold for heaps, so I proceeded to murder every last one of them, which gave me a huge boost in money. I bought a looting 2 sword to continue my massacre. I also bought a respiration helmet, so I didn't need to come up for air as often. My next plan to make money was to sell coral, which is needed in sea pickle farms. However, I needed a silk touch pick, and I also wanted a water breathing potion. I listed some coral for sale, but I realised it was going to take ages to make money using this method. My next plan was to capture tropical fish and sell them on the auction house. I had to disconnect for a little bit, but I came back to all my coral being sold. You'll often see me buying the cheapest items on the auction house to try raise the price a little bit. To spot fish easier, I use the keybind F3 plus B, which shows entity hitboxes. As you can see, the tropical fish sold really well. Even though they sold well, I had something else in mind to try.
I love you.
I then sold the axolotls I had bred for easy profit, and it took no time for all of them to get bought. And then before getting off for a bit, I bought and collected a bunch of tropical fish to resell, even selling a shulker of them for 1.5 mil. I logged back in with over 3.4 million. I then put a huge order of tropical fish in as I planned to breed heaps of axolotls. I made a cage to put them in and started breeding tons of them. They sell so well on the DonutSMP as heaps of people use them as decoration in stashes. I sold more axolotls and put another order of tropical fish in. Even though selling axolotls was really easy money, I was a bit bored of it, so I decided to adventure till I found an ocean monument. My goal here was to mine all the sea lanterns as they sold for a lot of money, but I needed to kill the elder guardians first. The sea lantern sold really well, so I put a huge order in. The rest of my axolotls sold, and all the sea lanterns I had ordered sold as well, so I ended up with over 12 million. I then went back to the axolotl method as it was really easy. The only problem with selling axolotls is it involved a decent bit of AFKing. My goal was 25 million and I wasn't quite there yet, so I went back to another ocean monument. I also realised I forgot to mine the sponge in the past monument, which is worth a pretty good amount. Some of my lanterns started selling, but I knew I needed a little bit more money to get to the 25 mil, so I captured a few more fish for old time's sake. I'd finally done it, reached my goal of 25 million in the challenge. However, I wouldn't recommend using these methods after the first few million, as they take quite a while and a farm of some sort would be much easier. And I obviously had to give back to the community, so I found a new player on AH, gave him the 25 million. He didn't reply to my original message to him, but then I realised I had them turned off. And it's safe to say he seemed pretty happy about it. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. Thank you.